Welcome back to Mudgee for the Asia Pacific Opens Touch Cup for 2026. This should be scintillating action here. It's all smiles from the Philippines. They can't wait to get underway themselves. Mixed Opens, Australia, the big guns, up against the emerging Philippine side. Of course, a very impressive performance in that under-20s competition just over 12 months ago. And they'll get first use of the ball here, so we're expecting big stuff from the Philippines. James Preston and Jackson Mills with you. On the attack early here, the Philippines catch and pass is beautiful. It's a good signs early on between the likes of Richter and Fish, and that ball hitting the deck overall.
Yeah, it's a great start from the Philippines already. You can see how up and about they are. They're going to be extremely vocal, extremely physical in this battle against Australia. The world number ones, the world champions. But the Philippines, again, they were strong coming through the youth contingent in 2023, even beating New Zealand during a Trans-Tasman Invitational. But now Australia back on the attack, the world champions. Let's see what they bring to this one.
Look at the speed there as well. Up over halfway they go. Now back into the path of Drew Price, and then all looking to link up. Now they're going to suggest they didn't play it. It was certainly in the passing channel, but I don't think there was an intentional play at it with the hand. But we've seen those go either way.
And it was brother to brother, Drew Price to James Price. Bit of backyard footy between the two. And this is Drew Price. It's actually Drew Price's first time representing Australia at this tournament, so congratulations to him. He's been through all of the training camps for the past 2 years, so it's exciting that he gets his opportunity today.
Not the only player that is stepping up to this level as well. Logan Tui, very young, but massive raps on him. Kieran Hughes as well, who a few years ago, you might remember, wasn't actually initially selected in, I believe it might have been the under-20 State of Origin side, but was a late call-up and then dominated at that level.
And that's a tough call for the Philippines. Australia actually putting the ball down, but the referee signalling offside to the Philippines. So Australia now gifted good field position through the likes of Wilson and Zane Cox.
Here is Cox now. Wilson Groth hopping in and acting half, and now carting it forward. Back towards Cox, plays it on the 7. Groth, little flick pass, back to Cox, looking to pull the trigger, threatened, didn't do it. Instead, he went direct himself. They all had eyes out wide, and Cox says, I'll burn you through the middle.
I was waiting for Cox to throw the ball too. It looked like he threw about 3 dummies and then getting the ball down. It's good to see Wilson Groth, the number 3. He's come back from an ACL. But watch Cox here. Pump 1, pump 2, and then just hits the deck. It was close from the Philippines, number 11. Trajan Cora, but Zane Cox making his mark early on this game.
So 1-0 after 2.5 minutes. Philippines still look pretty sharp, though. We'll back them to test the line here through Jacob Richter. Then promoted out for Selwood. Selwood plays it about 10 metres away. Scooped up once again here from Antonio.
Jeez.
Antonio with good speed, but shut down beautifully by Jacob Hall.
Tell you what, Vidal Antonio showing his speed early. So unassuming, but so darty around the ruck. And Australia giving up an error. Now gifting the Philippines some really good field position, forward pass indicated by the referee. But let's see what the Philippines can come up with. Got the likes of Vanderwood, the 2 Richter boys. They've got some absolute superpower to burn here, the Philippines.
Here is Vanderwood now, is also joining in. Here's Isaac Richter hopping into this right link position. Vanderwood, short release. So both Richters out there, Jacob and Isaac. Here is Isaac now. Drops it down quickly. Vanderwood. Now the flick pass comes out. Looked to be forward. And also touch pass. So either way, take the transgression. Australia certainly will. As they march up towards halfway. That's only one play down. And great meterage here from the Aussies. Now up over halfway for that matter. They'll get a look at the line off the back of this set. Holly Raff, and now for Wilson Groth. Carting it forward with a frightening speed here. Picked up and then thrown over the top. A bullet pass into the arms of Halliwell Quinn, but great coverage from the Philippines.
Really good cover defence by the Philippines. The speed and power of Australia going through the front door. But again, the Philippines just coming up with an error, unfortunately, and you can't be gifting Australia this good a field position, particularly with the firepower of Zane Cox, Wilson Groth. We've already seen this pod dominate early on. They put the one on the board through Zane Cox with ball in hand now.
Cox now throwing long, lovely ball over the top. Bit of a tough one to take in the end. It dipped savagely, so not much Kate Hammond could do about it. Yeah, the Philippines in general, they're bending, not breaking, which is a good sign.
Well, Katie Hammond, she's actually carrying an injury in her finger. She dislocated it in the warm-up in a game that she wasn't even playing. So She's got some significant bruising on that finger, but she's taped up. She's tough.
Now the Philippines floating a pass over the top. Line ball. Play on is the call, though. Last one brought up. Lovely pass into that link hole, but a brilliant read out wide from Halliwell Quinn. She had to jam in, otherwise it was try time for the Philippines.
Yeah, great defensive read by Halliwell Quinn, and the substitution box of Australia absolutely applauding that one. It was a good ball, left to right, into the link channel. Philippines absolutely able to reel it in, but now it's with the Australians through the likes of Jacob Hall.
Yeah, good meters again here from the Aussies. One-handed scoop was phenomenal there from Hall. Finds a bit of support. Tui stopping on the run. Hall scoops once again. Cuts out Tui. Finds Kieran Hughes. A beautiful finish. But what about the pass right back from the centre? Jacob Hall had his fingerprints all over that set.
Yeah, Hawley's known to come out of his left to right channel. And it was a good drive there by Logan Tui. Put up nicely. They didn't panic. They just shifted across. They know Hawley can come out of that left channel. Comes off his left and just puts it on a dime for Kieran Hughes. Look at that. Falling, diving, and scoring tries all in the one movement. And that puts Australia 2 tries up against the Philippines.
6 minutes gone. The Philippines have had their chances, though. Short delivery now. Vanderwood plays it on the 7. Oh, that could have been done for a hard touch, and it will be called now. So a little bit too forceful, that contact. Full set to work with now for the Philippines. Vanderwood with the restart. Sent it out to this left-hand side. Quick touch made there. Philippines still looking for the launching raid.
I'll tell you what, that's really close from the Philippines. Great service by Vanderwood across to Isaac Richter. Just a sliding touch from Bradley Russell it was.
Well, Vanderwood now floats it over the top. Another great read from out wide. Hammond this time making it. Last time it was Halliwell Quinn. They're asking plenty of questions, though, this Philippines team. Short release now for Chadburn. Last one brought up. Vanderwood sends it to the left-hand side. Another good read, however. Claiming the touch was Bowery, and ultimately the referee agrees, but they were very close once again there, the Philippines.
Yeah, showing their stuff, the Philippines. They're not shying away from this battle. They're creating opportunities. It's just that 1% final execution and getting the foot in the ruck is the Philippines. So again, gifting Australia some better field position.
So they'll start the set 10 metres shy of the halfway line. Vanderwood there to meet on play number 1. Good meters again, though, from Tui getting involved. Scoops here. In fact, now into the action. Here's Bailey Deacon. Deacon still there in support. Groth goes away from him. Quick release out wide. A lovely ball from Wilson Groth into the hands of Kate Hammond, who just, of course, stopped the try, and now she comes down the other end and collects.
Well, it's a nice setup by this particular pod with Zane Cox, Bailey Deacon, and Wilson Groth. You see Groth shapes the open side. They use Cox as a decoy, dummies, and comes across and just fires an absolute bullet out to Katie Hammond, doing as best she can with that dislocated finger. And again, Australia increasing the deficit to 3 now.
And a turnover from the Philippines certainly won't help the equation. Tui in an acting half, and then short release on that occasion as Ruff took the meters. And Tui darting forward. Hughes. Now for Jacob Hall, threatening and ultimately besting his man. Managed to swerve away from Trajan Cora and made it look very simple in the end, Jacob Hall.
Yeah, Trajan Cora just couldn't go with Hawley. Jacob Hall, the 14. This pod doing some damage to the Philippines' defence. Just burning him on the outside. Hawley with speed to burn. Great service again from Kieran Hughes. He's been strong to start this match.
So 4 tries to 0. Scoreline doesn't exactly, I think, tell the full story. Philippines have asked plenty of questions here of Australia. It's now Selwood. Ushers runners back underneath. Short delivery here for Richter, who then rips it long. Out in the arms it goes here of Vera. Vera turns it back to the middle. Nobody there waiting for it, though. The closest to taking it was Drew Price.
That's good scramble defence by the Australians. It was a great peel. Massive left to right pass. That could be an error from Australia, and it is. But you're right. The Philippines are asking questions. They just need to find a way to execute. And what a perfect way to do so. Gifted for a new set of 6 inside their attacking zone.
Richter back out there once again now. Isaac, that is. Jacob also staying on the field, although now looks to head for a bit of a rest. Vanderwood turning to the action. Richter shows it once. Vanderwood now scoops from acting half out. Very
Great
quickly
touch.
there was Raff. Ultimately called onside though. So back to the 7 go the Philippines. Richter to Richter. Vanderwood wrapping around. Has them worried. Oh, had to keep going there, Vanderwood. He had him offside. Turned back to the middle though. So now good meters off the back of it for Australia here with Zane Cox. And then followed up by Groth. The march continues here with Deakin. Now, good territory here for Australia. They can try and set up for that strike dump. Logan Tui will do exactly that. Bang on the 7. Tui goes again. Geez, that's beautiful work from Logan Tui. He sets them up, knocks them down. Into the arms of Halliwell Quinn it goes. What a wonderful set from Australia.
Well, it was a good substitution set, wasn't it, coming in? And Hall just serving Logan Tui back on the dump. And as easy as you like to Halliwell Quinn on the left touchline, making it look too easy. She's had a good few touches, Halliwell Quinn, in defence and attack. But Australia really starting to creep away now. 5 tries to 0.
What a young superstar Tui is, still just 18 years of age. It's now good footwork coming out here for the Philippines. The last one brought up though. Turned away is Dean Mathers. Back to Mathers again. Hop and a skip and now it takes off once more. Some good speed, but touch is made from Tui.
You got the bright green boots on. James, reckon you could pull those off as well?
I've always said this to Gabros in particular. You can only wear the flashy fluoro boots if you're quick. So in other words, no, I can't wear them.
So Logan Tui can definitely pull them off, as can most of the Australian contingent with some good momentum through that substitution box. They work on that relentlessly in their training camps, and the Drew Price brothers.
Speaking of relentless, though, look at this roll from Australia. Price once again trying to split them. Good touch made in the end from Chadburn. Back to the 7 they go. Last one brought up here for the Aussies. 11 minutes gone, nearly 12 now. Price with a late switch and then finding support. Big floating bomb out wide it goes from Bradley Russell. They try to keep it alive, but great scramble again from the Philippines. Well, against a lesser team, I dare say the Aussies probably would have put on double the points they already have so far. 5-0 the score. Philippines have had probably 3 genuine chances. Now a quick turnover and a big chance straight away. Aussies will make them pay. Drew Price gets over. The price is right, and that is 6 tries to 0 after 12 and a half minutes.
Yeah, crucial error from the Philippines. They've done it a few times, unfortunately, in the first half, and Price just stepping over it and getting it back as quick as you like. Through Bradley Russell, adapting to the situation accordingly. Look at him just step over it and get the ball back. Making it look too easy. Drew Price, a very talented runner. He's probably the fittest, I would say, at this tournament. If you want to ask him about some crazy split times, go and speak to Drew Price.
Now, refresh my memory. He's the one that's headed across to the Armed Forces and was playing at the ADF team for State Cup.
Yes, that's correct. He's a man of many talents. I'll tell you what, few words exchanged between the Philippines and the referee.
Yeah, they're actually being called out here now. This could be a forced sub.
As it is. So a forced sub, a player is sent to the sideline, not the sin bin, but just needs to spend a set of 6 in the naughty corner.
Now Groff works it forward and then a good little carry here coming out from Cox, and now space emerging for Deakin. Deakin looking for support. Certainly found it, but the ball was dropped as they were attempting to put it on the deck. So turnover there, a rare error for the Aussies. Philippines now going from coast to coast.
Yeah, they're running an away set here, the Philippines, as players exchange substitutes on the right-hand touchline. Unfortunately, not able to get the forward momentum that they were looking for, because now they're very stagnant and the Australian defensive line comes up nice and flat.
Although Vanderwood now puts on the afterburners and nearly beat them. Great touch from Groff through the middle.
Well, you'd hope so. He stands at like 6'5". If he's outstretched and missing them, there's something completely wrong.
So now Groff up over halfway. He goes. Been very good both sides of the ball. Vanderwood making the touch. Tui's back out there once again. Impossible to miss with those fluorescent boots. Tui will work with Hughes here along with Jacob Hall. Last one brought up. Hughes, great footwork, then fires a pass over the top. They were looking for the little tip back in for Tui. Tough one to do under those circumstances. Halliwell Quinn just couldn't quite pull it off.
Yeah, I think if Hughes dummied left and kept going right, they had some numbers, but some good go forward now by the Philippines. Unfortunately, getting called back to the mark. Yeah, right, it went through the hands of Halliwell Quinn straight on the forehead.
Very flat pass then out of acting half from the Philippines. Vera finding support, followed up by Webster. Last one brought up now for the Philippines. Jinking effort from Chadburn, who then looks to send it over the top, but not quite finding its mark. So Australia, it's just relentless pressure, not just with the ball in hand, but the line speed defensively, always forcing the issue on their opposition.
Yeah, they'll really start to put the pain on the Philippines now with the likes of Bradley Russell and Drew Price coming on, dishing it left and right back to each other. And now the defensive line splits for Brad Russell.
Scooped once again here. Russell popping a pass. Well, there was plenty of coverage there, but not enough in the end. Australia come up with another try. Hammond on the spot will collect a double. Wonderful work from Russell. Geez, haven't we seen him do that time and time again in the Origin arena, for example?
The thing is, with this Australian team, they won't stop. If the score is 1-0 or 10-0, it's going to be the exact same level of intensity until the final whistle. But Brad Russell just picking up, showing his foot speed. And Katie Hammond doing well to separate from the Philippines defender. And again, a double for Katie Hammond early on in this first half.
Now Jacob Richter, good footwork from him. Back paddling just a touch here. Antonio with him. Richter will drop it down. Antonio back to Richter. Now rips a long pass. Chance to pop it back early to the middle, but there was enough pressure there from Australia to deny that pass. Now just flinging it back out to this right-hand side, looking to kill it away from the Aussie box. But again, they're so strong defensively, not just through the middle, but their wings have done a wonderful job so far. Hammond and Halliwell Quinn have really been up to the task.
They have. The Philippines, though, are creating opportunities with that massive left-to-right pass. If they can get someone trailing back on the inside of the winger, there is a chance that they can score on the inside.
Great carry then from Tui. Links up with Hall. Oh, Kieran Hughes. That was a lovely pass as well. Should have been another try there for Australia. Blink and you miss it kind of situation.
Yeah, Keisha Kapia was flying through that link hole, and Kieran Hughes just tapping it onto her. Oh, he looks like he may have got a stud to the ankle. You can see him limping back.
Yeah, just trying to protect himself now in behind a couple of other defenders. He'll test out the ankle now. Vanderwood carting it forward, running directly at Tui, but Tui's so quick he was able to get back on side in time. Hughes now flinging it to Hall. Wider still it goes for Hammond. Plays it quickly. Tui then simply marching forward, and ultimately that one comes out of the hands there of Holly Ruff. So that'll be a turnover. Good field position for the Philippines. Now for Taramaya Remo. Working at about 10 metres into enemy territory. Richter waiting for his chance. Vanderwood has been impressive so far. Richter once again links up with Taramaya Remo. Vanderwood. Unfortunately, they've turned it over, though. Forward pass.
Oh, and he's thrown the ball away, so they'll probably be marched another 10 metres. And again, you don't want to be gifting Australia any meterage here, and it's Brad Russell to tap it. And he's going to be forced subbed here, I think, by the referee. This is going to be the second one in the last 5 minutes. So if it continues, they might be sat down in the sin bin.
Well, that was genuinely in the naughty corner there. He was ushered across as if it was a teacher talking to a very, very erratic student. And Vanderwood will indeed have a bit of time out now. So Australia back on the attack with about 90 seconds remaining in this first half.
Oh, Kapia making it look too easy with those meters.
Oh, now Groth with a big jink, then floats it over the top. Geez, that's classy from Groth. Into the arms of Tynese Bowery it goes, who can take a bow. She positioned herself well. But Wilson Groth, wasn't that something to behold?
Taramaya Remo just missing Wilson Groth. He just has those long legs and foot speed. But check out the run by Keisha. Manages to gain another 20, 25 metres. Katie Hammond, she's straight at half, and Groth just kicking out. And look at that on the run. Right to left pass, making it look very beautiful. Tynese Bowery. This Australians contingent strutting their stuff against the Philippines.
Philippines now stopping on a run just shy of the 7-metre mark. Back into the arms it goes. Floating pass over the top from Chadburn. Well watched, though, from Australia. They take the intercept, so 0 touch. Now that's the first there. Hughes carts it forward. Tui quick roll ball. Again, this relentless roll on from Australia. Lovely pass, although it did come out of the hands forward. I haven't heard the call as of yet, but great awareness from Russell, who went back to a short side when nobody, including the Philippines, was ready for it.
I tell you what, that's one of the worst feelings, getting a runaway like that and the referee's blown the whistle, you don't hear it and you're streaming away. But it's Kieran Hughes, Logan Tui. And Brad Russell comes in, he takes the lat charge just forward, so great call by the referee. As Price runs away, burns the extra metres. It was a good first half from both teams. Again, it's 8-0 to Australia, but doesn't really justify kind of what's been occurring. The Philippines have had more than enough opportunities to try and ice at least 2 tries, but chances gone begging.
I was going to say the exact same thing, Jackson. They certainly have been testing this Australian line. I think if you were sort of in and out of the kitchen, maybe hopping into the bathroom throughout that first half, and you're looking at snippets of the Philippines play, you're thinking, well, if I didn't know the score, maybe it's only 3 or 4, and the Philippines themselves might have got a couple of tries.
But again, not taking anything away from the Australian defence and attack. I mean, you've got the likes of Zane Cox, Bailey Deacon, and Wilson Groth, as you can see on screen. And Groth's had his hands on everything. Continues to go that right to left platform. And Kieran Hughes has had a great start to this game. He's had a few great touches, as has Jacob Hall with a few try assists. And Keisha Capera, she's done well. Absolute meter eater, ranking up those Supercoach points. And you mentioned Logan Tui with those bright green boots that you and me could both not pull off. We're not fast enough. Unfortunately, crucial error there by the Philippines. And Drew Price stepping over it, getting the ball back, an easy as you like try. You don't see those too much anymore, the old quick step over, the quick taps, and allowed to be play on by the referee, so great to see.
Certainly don't. So at the end of the first half, Australia well and truly in control, 8-0 over the Philippines in this mixed open clash. A quick break and all the second half action in just a moment.
They say Audi being on DoorDash is pretty big news.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of people talking about it.
Why aren't we talking about it?
Well, we are talking about it.
Talking about what?
Audi being on DoorDash.
Oh, yeah, I heard that's big news.
Welcome back to Mudgee for the Asia Pacific Opens Touch Cup 2026. Australia well and truly in control in this mixed Opens division. 8 tries to nil. With that said, the Philippines have been very impressive. They've asked plenty of questions. They just haven't come up with the answers, though, Jackson Mills.
Australia too dominant in that first half. 1 minute. So we mentioned just concluding the first half as well, James. It is 8-0, but Philippines have had some good opportunities. We'd love to see the likes of the Richters. And, you know, we saw Vidal come out of half. Vidal Antonio, he's so quick over those first 3 to 5 metres. And it's actually a shock when you defend against someone like that. You're like, oh, my God, he's absolutely taken off. There's no way I can keep up with him. So I'd love to see him get himself into an attacking position.
30 seconds.
And on screen,
referee.
your Brad Russell, Keisha Kapia, Drew Price. Drew Price having a great start to his Australian campaign. He's been in the program for a few years now. And it's good to see him in the top grade. He definitely deserves it.
Certainly is. And, of course, those other newcomers like Kieran Hughes and Logan Tui, they've been stepping up big time as well so far in this tournament. A couple of nice moments for them in this match as well. So 20 more minutes to sort it out. You'd love to see the Philippines as a neutral get something on the board here. Australia, though, we know how relentless they can be. Let's see what plays out in the second 20. Russell brings it forward, finding Kapia. Straight away, Price looking to hit it at speed, and now Price will burn them on the outside. That's not good. He's pulled up lame. Rather innocuous, though. I'm not sure what it was. Oh, there's a little grab at the left hammy. We'll see it again here on the replay. You can see the grimace on the face.
Oh, dear. Well, we were just giving him raps. That's really not good to see. Let's hope it's just a little twinge, because the Australian attack, they really need him for games, especially tomorrow in that Trans-Tasman Test match against New Zealand. But back on the tack, it is his brother James putting the icing on the cake. But yeah, that's not good to see, is it? You don't want to see any player go injured. We saw one earlier on in the mixed Chinese team. It was Tom Wong, one of the great attacking players in that contingent, pull up lame with a hamstring injury. But yeah, on this occasion, Drew Price is putting a damper on the early stages here. But hey, his brother James picking up the slack, crossing for Australia.
It'd be interesting to see if we get Drew Price back on the field. Of course, Tommy Wong did return. Now, we had a chat with him after the game, and he wasn't quite sure himself. He said it doesn't feel right. Hopefully it's a case of that for Drew Price. Nothing too serious. Nothing a little bit of Dankarab can't fix, for example.
Oh, but Vanderwood copping one from his own teammate in the back, forcing the ball out, and Australia are straight back on the attack now.
Groth with a great drive, picked up 15 metres in traffic, and now a little quick tip on play there from Cox. They open up the space here with Hughes. Tui into the action once again. Back to Hughes. Heads out to this right-hand side. Threatens to link up with Tui once again. Met there defensively by Richter. Tui threatens to link up with Hall. Hughes goes that way. Hall now, big jinking step. A lovely left-to-right pass. A good 25 metres on it. Into the arms of Hammond. That is je ne sais quoi.
That's very good from Hall. Again, he's had his hands over everything. Cracks back off the left and rips one over to Katie Hammond. And you know what's funny? Particularly in the rugby league coverage, the commentators, everyone in the crowd, they go nuts when they see a long ball. Come to a touch football game and you'll see a long ball every single set.
They build them different here for touch, that's for sure. Skill level on show has just been immense in the opening 2 days of this tournament. It's now Chadburn bounces around on the 7. Do the Philippines have a long ball in their repertoire at the end of this set? Chadburn will hit Link instead. Another great readout. Why, though? Hammond has had a blinder on that wing. However, they will get another set here, the Philippines. Offside, Australia.
One of the best defensive wingers in the mixed opens game, Katie Hammond. So strong. She can read the ball play really well, as you can see. It doesn't matter if it's coming fast, slow, high, or quick. She's all over it.
Now Richter with a big step, but Jacob Hall is so light on his feet. Shuts it down quite nicely. Price out there as well. It's now shutting down the space is Russell. Short delivery once again. Then into the arms of Mathers. Mathers and then finding Richter, who went directly at them. Shut down though. Good touch from Russell.
That's close. A little bit disjointed, the Philippines attack on this set, but it's good to see when they're going forward. They do create opportunities.
Little pirouette and a change of speed there as well from Keelan Chadburn, but shut down nicely once again. As into the action goes Cox. Cox then rolling it back and Price scooped.
Bit of momentum hold here from Australia. Good line speed from the Philippines, unfortunately. Keisha Kapia, she's done this a few times. Been able to gain 20 to 25 metres, just leaving a looping hole for her. And now giving the likes of Wilson Groth and Kieran Hughes something to play with.
Hughes now with a little flick pass, and then Groth lays an egg and nearly produces a try off the back of it. Well, that would have been a circus trick from Wilson Groth. Instead, the Philippines survive. So 9-0 the score. So they cut it up towards halfway now, the Philippines. Good carry from Isabel Fish. Up towards the half, and now Richter gets over it. Lovely delay on the pass there for Vanderwood. Good evasive technique. Got away from Groth. Back to Richter once again. Vanderwood bouncing around, pops a pass. Now the flick pass comes out. It's still live here for the Philippines. Wider still they go. What a try that is. It's Hara Fraser who gets in. I think we've just seen the try of the tournament. That is exceptional from the Philippines.
That's one of the best tries I have ever seen. And it comes from the Philippines, creating something out of absolutely nothing. It's Vanderwood, and then a massive flick pass out to Taramaya Remo. Oh, how about that? You'd buy that for $1,000 on eBay at least, James.
That was something special from the Philippines. The real party trick, that one. I'm not sure we'll top it, and now, as easy as you like, Jacob Hall. Just think about what the Philippines have to do to break down Australia. Hall just walks forward, ball in two hands, and it opens up for him.
They're just so structured, aren't they, the Australians? Logan Tui taking it up as he usually does, and Hawley as easy as you like. Look at that. The two middles just part ways, and he walks through so easy.
It's a little bit of disconnect there defensively for the Philippines. Means it's now out to double digits for Australia. 10-1 the score. Richter carts it forward. Out of acting half goes Antonio, and then a long pass over the top. That's another good one. Did they recover in time? Yes, they did, through Bowery, who just made the touch on the back of the heel.
Great touch.
Last one brought up now. Philippines, once again, with a short side raid. I might have just discovered the blueprint, though. Often against teams like Australia and New Zealand, you've got to try something a bit different, something out of the ordinary, just to break down those policies and the procedures.
That's we said it yesterday. Well, the Philippines, you see when they're making touches, they're going straight at the middles. It'd be interesting to see them actually target the links, put a bit more pressure on the Australian defensive line. But it's hard when you've got the likes of Kieran Hughes attacking you like that. But I would love to see if they get a repeat set, the Philippines, to attack the Australian defensive links. You want to put them under as much pressure as possible. So that could be something that the Philippines decide to look to in the second half.
So Philippines up towards halfway they go. Good pressure applied there from Australia. Short delivery, ticking deep into the line. Scooped up once again here. Chadburn bouncing around. Easily dealt with on that occasion. Price made the touch. Hughes will come out to this left-hand side, looking to get fresh troops back on the field. Russell carting it forward into enemy territory. Now watch out here for both Deacon and Groth. Deacon carts it forward, links up with Groth. Good read from the Philippines.
Really good read there, shutting defence by the Philippines. Groth had options, but couldn't get the ball away, unfortunately. But it is Bailey Deacon and Groth now working together in the middle.
Groth on the last, fires it wide. Lovely ball. Even better coverage, though, from the Philippines. That's a good stop from them.
You can hear the crowd rising with the Philippine defence. It's a good read, too. Wilson Groth, I thought, could just keep running through the defensive line into the in-goal and had a bit more time to get the ball to one of the players. But unfortunately, Australia getting touched and now gifted good field position. Inside, well inside Philippines' defensive zone.
Deacon called forward there. Initial attempted touch was offside. Oh, Cox with good hands under pressure. Somehow still got away from the first defender. Now Tui has a bit of space to work with. Turns it back to the middle. Fast play the ball. Tui wants to get on with things. I'll go back to the 7 in the end. Deacon didn't play it. Tui. Short release. Now Cox. Tui, Deacon, space on that left-hand edge. They had a 2-on-1, but Deacon didn't pull the trigger. Logan will play it about 8 metres away. Still bouncing around. For Deacon, last one brought up. Tui now takes off. Good speed from Tui as ever. Finds a pass out wide, and Logan Tui burns them through the middle. Another try on the board for Australia, and capitalising is Halliwell Quinn.
Yeah, Tui just showing why he's been selected in this Australian mixed open side. Deacon giving a good foundation for him to pick up and just sprint into the in-goal. Burning players left, right and centre with a good finish from Halliwell Quinn to take Australia to 11 tries. The Philippines still trailing just a single try on the board.
Just for reference, in terms of this quick ascension for Logan Tui, he only made his New South Wales State Cup debut last December. Now he's up in this Australian mixed open side. So it's been a rapid rise over the past 12 months for him. So now Australia up towards halfway. Very good carry here. Picking up easy meters was Deakin, and now Russell gets involved as well. Kapia carting it forward. Tui, not much of a rest for him. Back on deck already. Cox linking with Hall. Up towards the 7. Good touch there from Richter. That quells the momentum. Hall then with a jinking effort. Touch pass is called. And there is the turnover. So the Philippines have been breached, of course, a number of times, but there's still been plenty of resilience in defence.
Yeah, they've been strong defensively, shutting down the stronger Australian attack as a penalty gifted to the Philippines right on halfway. But I'm just scanning the box at top of screen. You can see Drew Price strolling up and down top of the box. So maybe he's just trying to walk out that hamstring twinge. I saw him getting it worked on by the physiotherapists, but I'm unsure if he's going to rejoin this match.
Well, surely at 11-1 you don't risk it.
No, you don't need to at all. I mean, you've got a Trans-Tasman Test match tomorrow against the second-best team in the world, a fresh New Zealand Mixed Opens team that you haven't really seen too much of, so you want to get him right for that, so I wouldn't be putting him back on this field at all.
So now Jacob Hall linking up with Logan Tui. There was a little foot left in the ruck there, but play on the call. In fact, here's the late call now for that indiscretion from the Philippines. So Hammond will restart things. Rafa's back out there. Up over halfway she goes. Met by Chadburn. 10 metres into opposition territory. As Groff now effortlessly changing the pace. Back to Deakin it goes. Fires a pass, but that was misguided.
Yeah, he was expecting the winger to be there. I think she was just coming on as a fresh substitute. But Deakin, ripping it to where the wing probably would have been. Unfortunately, just not there on that occasion. She was streaming in from the sub-box, but Deakin's pass, unfortunately, just going to ground with Philippines back on the good go forward.
It's about 10 shy of halfway. Richter gets back into the action. That was a very flat pass there for Vanderwood. It was very evasive, bouncing around like a jackrabbit. Eventually wrapped up. Last one there, and they're only at the halfway line. What a good defensive set that was from Australia. Now Groth floats it out to Deakin. A little bit wider still it goes for Raf. Deakin working it forward. Cox back into the action. Met there by Taramai Remo. And now Price. Russell. Quick release. Back to Russell. Floats it over the top. Clockwork precision from the Aussies. Into the arms of Bowery it goes, and she's got a double.
Hang on a second. They're bringing this back. The referees, I think they're probably going to be directing this as a forward pass by Bradley Russell. And tell you what, he's not going to be too happy with that. It looked pretty clean out of the hands to me. But look where he's standing. Like, he's in the middle, if not on the left-hand side of the field, and rips it across. I don't know. I think that's pretty clean to me.
I'm with you. It looked all right there on the replay. There's now Philippines with Selwood. Can't afford up through the middle. Richter floating a pass over the top. Intercepted, and now the chase is on. There's support coming back through the middle. Price will put the foot down. Russell there as well. Here comes a great chase, and the Philippines will get there in time through Richter. A try-saving effort, but they're shot to bits defensively. Richter, brilliantly, back-to-back touches. Came in off his own line, having just run the best part of 50 metres. Australia still building, though. Tui looking for the dive. Guess who once again? 3 in a row from Jacob Richter. An almighty defensive effort. Tui sends it out to this left-hand side. Back then for Cox. Richter makes 4 straight touches. Cox, short delivery for Hall, and then jamming into that link hole. They finally get the try, but take a bow. Jacob Richter, 4 straight touches.
Yeah, it was an intercept from Australia at about the halfway line. Price streaming away with it, and Jacob Richter chasing him down, as you mentioned, the good part of 50 metres. And then again, backing it up with that line speed, getting up off the try line to stop the shift in the passing lane for Australia going left. But then again, Australia doing what they do best, scoring tries. It's now 12 tries to 1.
A dirty dozen for the Aussies. Philippines left to feel the pain. Quick play, the ball inside the 7. Fast release. Look at the speed of Hughes, though, getting back on side there. There is just no let-up, no chink in the armour. The only time the Philippines could find a way through was off the back of some crazy party tricks with a couple of flick passes and hot stepping.
Maybe they should bring that back in, James. Just get down there and let's just throw some flick passes, because it seems it's all that works against this dominant Australian contingent.
Tell you what, we're in for a heck of a battle with the Trans-Tasman match tomorrow. Cox now, short delivery, Russell through the middle, easy as you like shelling peas for the Aussies. 13-1 now. The Philippines, they look a bit gassed.
Yeah, it's so hard when you've got the likes of Price running at you with Cox and Russell in the same pod. It's just a nice short ball to Russell. Fortunately, the link for the Philippines can't come across and make the touch. But yeah, you're right. The Philippines look a bit gassed now. The Australians continue to put the foot down, keep the foot on the throat. As we mentioned, it doesn't matter if it's a 2-0 deficit or 13-1. The Australians will not let up.
So 5 to go. Vanderwood out there once again, circling around the 7. They go away from Vanderwood, one-handed hold, but once again, beautifully met defensively. Richter can't get away from them. Isaac on this occasion. It's Price making the touch, unfitter than him. Russell brings it forward. And a little bit wider still they go now through Ruff. Ooh, very flat. I was about to say, if they continued on with that particular run, in the end decided not to let it go initially. They could never get themselves back on side though, so the ball hits the deck.
Yeah, a bit of a mix-up from Katie Hammond and Keisha Kapia. Both played for Australia last year in the Trans-Tasman Test over in Christchurch. Had great campaigns. And again, being selected in this Australian Mixed Opens team, and you understand why. They're both just so good. As you can see, Katie Hammond putting the pressure on the Philippines, and they managed to get the ball across. But it's Logan Tui in the bright green boots, showing his speed in great cover defence.
So quick there from Tui now. Taramai Remo is looking to link up, but look, we called for it a couple of minutes ago. Something a bit different, maybe a flick pass, a trick play over the top. They produced one there, and they nearly pulled apart Australia once again.
And the same thing happened, again, that same side. Just not linking up effectively at the moment, the Australians, during that substitution set. That's twice in a row. Again, gifting Philippines good field position.
So Richter cants it forward, followed up by Isaac Richter. And to Jacob. Isaac will play it on the 7. Jacob Richter taking off, looking for his brother. Found him, and certainly found a hole.
Wow.
And they will get the try. So Richter to Richter splits them apart through the middle. And 13-2 the score. Well done to the Philippines.
How good's that? A little bit of backyard footy from the two Richter boys. Dishing it in, dishing it out. Trying to block Logan Tui back on the inside. And it's Isaac Richter crossing in between Zane Cox and Logan Tui, just collapsing in defence on that occasion. But it's great to see they've got the athleticism and the good go for the Philippines when they get in the right attacking position. We mentioned the likes of Adele, the two Richters, Vanderwood as well, putting himself in there. They're so strong in attack, the Philippines. They just need to get themselves into that position.
So don't forget, up next, Greece take on Hong Kong Chun in the men's open division. There's been some promising signs for Greece thus far. After that, we'll move to our women's open. Australia once again will get a chance to test their hand against Lebanon. Lebanon, of course, had their struggles in that women's open division a little earlier against Singapore, as we see another try here for Australia, this time Wilson Groth.
Yeah, a bit of confusion from the Philippines making that touch, but watch how fast he drops here. He's so tall, and it's like he just falls to the ground while outstretching his hand. Nice little kick back to halfway, but Groth, he's so good with his footwork, and I would say he's probably one of the best players to be able to drop to the ground with how tall he is.
So just over a minute remaining. Philippines tracking along that 7-metre mark. Drop down once again into the path of Chad Burnham, turned away on this occasion. Here's Keelan. Still live on this left-hand side. They can't link up, so that'll likely be the second last set here for the Philippines. They might get one more chance to put another try on the board. They'll be desperate to stop Australia here. 14-2, certainly an improvement since the halftime break.
Wow.
Good speed again here from Deacon. Now Tui will scoop and looks to link up with Hughes out the back. Hughes with speed, burns them and then finds Hammond, who tiptoes down the sideline like a trapeze artist and gets another one on the board. A hat-trick for Kate Hammond.
That is a perfect set from Australia. Keisha Kapia into Bailey Deacon. Logan Tui just picking up, and look at that rocket out to Kieran Hughes. Perfect left to right, draw and pass. Katie Hammond in the corner. But that started with Bailey Deacon's drive. That good go forward. It went from Keisha to Bailey Deacon, setting the platform for Tui to come out of dummy half and just fire that rocket of a pass to Kieran Hughes.
Impressively as well from Deacon, straight off the bench into the action at that kind of speed as well. There is just no let up with this Aussie side. Deacon will fittingly finish with the ball. Cracking contest. You can see there too from Kieran Hughes just congratulating the Philippines side, saying that was a genuinely good showing from you boys. And in fact, we'll catch up with one of those Philippines players in just a moment. A quick break here on Bar TV. We'll see all the insights, and of course, don't go too far. More action just around the corner as well.